Welcome, guys, to another episode of this series of design patterns in software engineering, software architecture. So, to the design pattern which I have shortlisted for today's discussion is facade, and it is categorized under structural design patterns. There are primarily three categories of design patterns. So, one of them is structural design patterns, and facade falls under this category. So, this was a design pattern which was promoted by the gang of four, the four authors who collectively wrote a book on design patterns. And facade means, by the dictionary term of facade, it means the face of a building. So whenever we go to any shopping complex or whenever we see a building, we see the face of the building, right? This is how the building looks like from the front. So the end user only sees the face of the building. This is called the facade architecture, facade engineering. Okay, so this is the facade of a building. So that design pattern resembles this. So what it does is it provides a unified interface to a set of interfaces in a subsystem. So in a application there are very complex subsystems. So these subsystems, these submodules, they come together and make one big application. So what facade does is it hides the complexities of the subsystems. Therefore, it hides the complexities of the subsystems from the client. So the client doesn't see the complexities. So if I take one more example, now this is a remote control, right? So the inside circuitry, it is a complex circuitry, but the client doesn't need to know about the inside circuitry. The client only sees the UI, the interface which the company has given. Client is least bothered inside which technology the company has used, registers, diodes, or which latest technology they have used over here. The customer is least bothered. He just needs that when I press the up button for the volume should increase. The inside mechanism he is not interested in. So this is what facade does. It hides the complexities of the subsystem from the client. This is called as a higher level abstraction. So they use a higher level interface that makes the subsystems easier to use. Now what is the advantage of facade is it shields the client from the complexities of the subsystems as mentioned in this diagram, and it provides loose coupling between subsystems. Now loose coupling, okay, let's take one more example of facade. Okay, let's take one more example. So this is you and this is your best friend, and these are few people which your best friend is in touch with. They are his friends. So these are his his friends, your best friend's friends. Okay, so if you have some task, let's say you need to take admission in some college and you aren't familiar with the admission procedure, so who will you approach? You will tell your best friend that I need admission in this particular college, do you know anyone? Now your best friend will then contact his friend who deals with the admission work. Similarly, if you have some work in the RTO, if you wish to issue a new license or renew your existing license, or whatever work you have, you purchased a new car and you want to get it registered, but you don't know anyone from the RTO. So you will ask your best friend, do you know anyone from the RTO? I need this work to be done. And he will then contact his friend who deals with all the RTO related works. Similarly, we have some municipal work. So our single point of contact is whom? Who is our Spock? Single point of contact is our best friend. So whatever issues we have, we will just call one person. And the inner complexities, now taking admission in a college, there are many formalities are there, many complexities are there, that the friend will take care of. You don't have to take care of, you just have to contact your friend, and then he will do the needful for you. So similarly, this is a way in which a facade works. So this friend, can you can think of him as a facade, that your face to all these subsystems is your friend. So you just have to contact one person, single point of contact, right? So it promotes loose coupling between subsystems. Okay, loose coupling means you don't have to be tied up with this person to get your job done in person. You don't have to know him in person. So your coupling with this person is not required. Your coupling with your friend is sufficient for this job to be done. So you don't have to be physically tied up with each three individuals to get your three subsystems working. You can get all the subsystems working just being in touch with one person only. So you don't have to be physically tied up with these three people. So this is your loose coupling. It promotes loose coupling between subsystem and its clients. So these are the subsystems. These are the subsystems, right? As mentioned. And over here you are the client. So the facade will act as an interface between the client and the complex subsystems. Usage of facade is when you want to provide a simple interface to complex subsystems. So these are all complex tasks, but your friend will make it very easier for you in completing these tasks. So the facade will act in a way, right? So let's take a technical example now. So what I'll be doing over here is, this is a subsystem. So facade achieves this with the help of a parent interface. It helps it with the help of a parent interface. Madam mentioned over here. See over here, high level interface. High level interface that makes the subsystem easier to use. So what we have to do first is, we have to first make a higher level interface. So my higher level interface name is shape, has a one abstract method called as draw. And these are three classes which will implement that interface. So class circle implements shape, class rectangle implements shape, and class square implements shape, and each will have their own draw. So the formula to draw circle is different, draw rectangle is different, draw square is different. Okay, now I'll create the intermediate facade. So this facade will create objects of all these three classes. We'll have objects of a class shape, objects of class rectangle, object of class square, and these will be all private objects. These will be all private objects. And then I'll have methods to access each object. So to access the circle class, I'll have a draw circle method. To access the rectangle, I'll have a draw rectangle. To access the square, I'll have a draw square. Because your friend will have contact numbers of each. Your friend in his telephone directory, your friend in his telephone directory will have, so if this is Alice, it looks like a feminine masculine face, so let's give it Ben. So if this is Ben college admission, so your friend will have contact detail of that in his mobile phone. Okay, then this is, let's say this is Charles RTO, so his contact details will be, and if this is John municipality, so his details will be over here. The client need not store the details. The client is least concerned with these details. So these details need not be relevant to the client. He is least bothered. He doesn't even wants to know what is the name of the person who is doing his college admission work. He just told his friend, the friend will take over. Okay, so that's why the facade should have the contact of all these objects. So that is what is mentioned over here. Okay, so the three objects and methods to access these objects, and these objects are public, means can be accessed outside the class, and these objects are private. These objects can be accessed only by these methods. So draw circle can only access the circle object. Draw rectangle can only access the rectangle object. Draw square can only access the square object. Outside the shape facade class, you can't directly access these objects. And the client program will then interact with the shape facade and will call these public methods. Will call these public methods. So the client will call these public methods. These public methods. So if the client wishes to draw a circle, the client will call what? The draw circle public method. This draw circle public method has access to the which one? Draw shape, and then this draw shape is over here. So the client just needs to have access to the facade, and the facade will interact with the complex subsystem. So first thing first, now what do we have to make? The interface shape, which has only one abstract method called as draw. So here you have public interface shape has only one method, draw. Next we have three classes: circle, implement, shape. So circle will give body to draw. Similarly rectangle, similarly square. So here you have rectangle implements shape, and it has given body to draw, and it is just printing draw, rectangle, draw. Similarly square implements shape, square, draw. Similarly circle implements shape, circle, draw. Okay, this is done. The subsystem is ready. Okay, the subsystem is ready, right? One interface and three classes. Now let's make the shape facade class, which will have objects of these three classes and methods to access those objects, right? Objects will be private. The minus means private, a hash means protected, and a plus means public. So minus means private, plus means public. So the objects will be private and the methods will be public. So we have the shape facade. So I'll have three private shape: circle, rectangle, square references. Okay, in the constructor. Now the constructor has to be public. Why is the constructor public? Because we will be accessing the facade from outside, right? The facade will be accessed from outside. So the constructor is public. And what will that constructor do? Create these three objects. So these were three references. The constructor has created the three objects. Circle is new circle, rectangle is new rectangle, and square is new square. And now I'll have three public functions. So to draw a circle, I will call the draw function using the circle object. To draw a rectangle, I'll call the draw function using the rectangle object, and to draw a square, I'll call the draw function using the square. Okay, and now the client program has a main method. Client will make object of which one? Client will make object of directly the shape facade, right? And whatever object you want, shape maker is new shape facade, and using this shape maker it will call the public methods of the facade: draw circle, draw rectangle, draw square. Clear? So now we'll compile these three classes, all the classes. So I go here, Java C start.java, and now I will just call, the client will call which program? Client program, right? So Java client program, and it will print you the three functions which I have invoked over here. Makes sense, guys? This is how a facade works. So you have a high level interface, you have classes which implement that interface, so that forms a subsystem. These four, the interface and the classes which is implementing the interface, forms the subsystem. Then to access the subsystem, you have the facade, which has the private objects, the references to the objects of the subsystem, and a public constructor which will initialize the objects, which will create the objects, and then public methods to access each class in the subsystem, methods of each class in the subsystem. And the client program will just create an object of the facade, and the facade object will call all the methods in the subsystem. I hope this is clear. So what is the one more? I just skipped one diagram. I'll just show you that also. So if this is the facade, so the facade hides the internal structure of the building. So all this wiring, plumbing, cabling, this all is hidden, and the user will only see a completed finished product like this. So this will just give you the face of the building without showing you the inner details, how the building, how the subsystems were constructed, which you are least interested in. We are just interested in the building.